Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching. We're at Interrupt New York 2011. On our program is Peter Melerud. He's the VP of Product Management of Kemp Technologies. Peter, welcome back to the show.
Great, thanks very much. Great to be here.
So we're thrilled to have you. You were here last year, and I was hoping that for those people who don't remember the video that the interview we did last year, just refresh us, a 30-second update on Kemp Technologies.
Sure. So Kemp is a manufacturer of server load balancing and application delivery controllers, ADCs. Our primary goal in life is to provide traffic management, high availability and scalability for customers' server applications. We focus on the SMB space, great price performance value for our customers.
So there must be some really exciting times for a company that's in the spaces you play in when there are these high-profile outages. Yesterday, the iPhone 4S was announced, and the Apple website was down for approximately an hour based on what I saw on TMCnet. And also, Bank of America had a pretty high-profile outage. I think it was a double outage last week. So in 2 weeks, you have these really high-profile sites having challenges. Yep. What are your thoughts about that?
It's very interesting because those high-profile outages cause the smaller companies that we work with to think about those things, which is what we've been trying to talk to them now about for the past 5 or 8 years. So
you tell them if it can happen to Apple and Bank of America, it can happen to you.
It happened to you, absolutely. And there's something that you can do, and you can do that cost effectively if you plan for it appropriately. So that definitely brings these kind of things to the top of mind for us.
Now, if you're an IT manager or CTO, those are two of the people that you generally deal with when you sell. Yeah. What is the one, or what are some of the things they typically don't take into account?
They typically don't really have a full understanding of the traffic patterns that are happening within their network. And when it comes to figuring out what technology they need and how to organize that infrastructure, it may take them a little while to figure out what capacity, for example, the load balancer should be, what are the different application implications are on different hardware elements. So, for example, one of the things that's happening this year is a pretty major shift towards higher encryption levels for SSL, for example. So, where in the past 1024-bit keys were the norm, now people are implementing 2048-bit keys. Well, that can have a very substantial negative performance on server applications. So one thing that they need to be aware of is that some of the things that might do to their application, they need to make sure that the hardware is there to support that.
Because the processor has to deal with just a massive amount of encrypted sessions that are more complex, and subsequently just the peak CPU load
that's exactly
increases, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the things we did in the course of last year is we updated our hardware platforms to be able to support stronger encryption. So one of the things that a load balancer and an ADC does, it offloads and accelerates SSL traffic.
That's awesome.
So that was one of the key areas that we've improved and beefed up in our hardware platforms as well.
So in terms of the mix of customers that you have, are they just the general companies that you would see, like manufacturing, distributing, banking, et cetera, or are there specific companies that are your customers, a big segment?
They're really across the board for us. We don't have really a vertical niche market per se, so all companies in all spaces are our typical customer. Where we do see a bit of a shift where in the past our typical target market was the core SMB customer. Now, for some reason, even enterprises want to save some money, so we've been seeing a lot of interest from the larger enterprises in coming to Kemp and actually seeing that we do offer a complete set of features and performance levels that are right fit for them. They can save a whole lot of money by deploying Kemps, whether it's the core data center or on the edge in their business units. So we've seen an interesting shift in our customer demographic towards the higher end in the enterprise space.
So when you say saving a whole lot of money, you mean that rather than going to some of your bigger competitors, they will come to you and they will save money because you can do some of the things that they can do?
Absolutely. I mean, just to put some figures on the table, most of our direct competitors at the higher end start at around $20,000 to $40,000 for a pair of load balancers and can easily reach into $100,000. Kemp products actually start at $1,500 and go up to $20,000, where the performance levels are actually pretty comparable. So it's really a question of the enterprise and the customer looking at the applications that they need to support, what functionality do they have, and if they see the opportunity to save sometimes an order of magnitude of 4 times on a deployment, it becomes a pretty compelling model for them.
So because this is a technology interview, I'm forced, there is a rule that journalists have to ask you about the cloud. So I have to ask you, how is the cloud impacting your business?
It's actually impacting us in a very interesting way. We see ourselves as the cloud enabling technology, and over the past year we do work quite a bit with managed service providers and hosting companies who are building out cloud infrastructures, whether they're private cloud or public cloud environments. And we've done a lot of work on the technical side of our products to enable our products to provide more value add to those organizations. So as customers are moving their applications into the cloud, some of those providers are actually using our products internally to enable that environment, and we see that growing quite a bit.
So what's next for your company?
We're going to continue our focus on a variety of platforms. We are very much focused right now on Microsoft technologies. We've been very, very successful in providing support for Microsoft Exchange 2010 deployments. We are certified, actually, an approved platform from Microsoft for Exchange 2010. Within the next 30 days or so, we're also going to be certified for Link. This is in addition to our support of SharePoint and other Microsoft platforms. So we've seen pretty dramatic success in that space for us last year, and we're probably going to continue focusing on that as well into 2012.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you'll come back and share your successes with us in the future, and thanks for being here.
Pleasure. Thanks very much. Nice meeting you.